Very good evening. Welcome to the Oak Grove Leisure Centre here in Milton Keynes. It is match night 4 of the AJ Bell National Badminton League. MK Badminton versus University of Nottingham Badminton is the game that we're going to be bringing you live on this stream this evening, and something has got to give tonight. University of Nottingham Badminton travelling south down the M1, looking for their first ever AJ Bell NBL away win. They face an MK Badminton side without a win in 4, so who's going to collect their first win of the season? Myself, Rob Hayes, and head of coaching for Badminton England, Neil Cottrell, alongside me. Neil, as I said there, something has got to give.
Absolutely. I think the teams are quite evenly balanced again, as they have been for most of the match nights so far. You think that possibly Nottingham might have the edge here and actually take their first away win, but certainly MK Badminton sort of pushed Birmingham quite close last time, so I think they'll be up to try and take that first win in the NBL season 2.
Much needed here in 2016 as well. Let's talk you through the order of play this evening, starting with the men's singles. Sam Parsons goes up against Eric Pang. Then it's the mixed doubles. Anders Christensen and Sophie Sankey of MK Badminton against Rohan Midha and Ellen Mahantha-Rilingam of University of Nottingham Badminton. Then it's the women's singles. Caroline Wesley versus Yao Ji, followed by the women's doubles, Marie Robka and Clara Niestad against Jess Pugh and Cheryl Synan. And then rounding off this match night 4, Peter Mills and Sean Vendy of MK Badminton against Adam Hall and Adam Quilina of University of Nottingham Badminton. I think we are about ready to welcome the two teams into the arena here.
So introducing our waiting for tonight first of all, and they come from the University of Nottingham. First up, the NBL's first Polish star, Captain Andrew Quilina. And he is followed by experienced single stars, Eric Pang. Making his AJ Bell NBL debut, it's Rohan Midha. The rising star of Welsh badminton, Ellen Mahantha-Rilingam. Olympic and 4 European champion, Yao Ji. So good luck to Team Nottingham tonight. And next out, receiving a lot of home support, it is your MK Badminton stars. And here they come, introducing the captain, who's the double Commonwealth medalist and all-action captain, Peter Mills.
So there we have it, the two teams have been announced onto the court. MK Badminton versus University of Nottingham Badminton. Let's talk first then, Neil, about the men's singles. Sam Parsons, the reigning national champion, against Eric Pang with a wealth of European experience behind him.
Yeah, it's going to be a real contrast of styles here. That Eric Pang is quite a laid-back character. He's very talented, very skillful. He's recently retired from playing professionally full-time now, so you know, Sam, you would think, might have the legs on him. He's all action, and he's very explosive and dynamic, and if you can raise his pace to try and hustle Eric a little bit on the court, then he'll give himself a good chance of winning.
Never faced each other internationally either, which makes it very interesting to see them facing off against each other for the first time, and in this format as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, almost their two careers haven't collided at all, because as Eric's been finishing, then Sam started to prove himself on the European stage. So you know, with the shortened format, it maybe favours Sam Parsons if he can play with this high pace. But you know, physically, then it takes a little bit less out of the singles players in particular. So you know, that might play into Eric Pang's favour. So depending on who gets the best start, it's pretty evenly balanced, so it could go either way.
We talk about the shortened format. If you're new to the AJ Bell NBL, you're very welcome indeed. Let's just talk you very quickly through the scoring system. Each game is first to 9, and it's best of 5 games. If it's 2-2, we go to a sudden death tie-break. First to lead by 3 clear points, or first to get to 5 points in that tie-break. It could come down to the very last point. There's also the AJ Bell power play point. It's double points for the player that chooses to play the AJ Bell power play. So that could come into play a little bit later on as well. Any other rule changes or amendments to the classic rules of badminton, if you like, that crop up throughout this match night, we will of course talk you through them, but that's the gist of what goes on. If you're joining this stream and you're looking for the Surrey Smashers versus Loughborough Sports stream, just go back to where you found us on the Badminton World YouTube page, and you'll find that there. All 6 franchises in action tonight here for the first time this season in the AJ Bell NBL, with Team Derby versus Birmingham Lions live on Sky Sports as well. We'll do our best here in Milton Keynes to keep you up to date across all of the scores on the doors around the AJ Bell MBL this evening. Here's one change to the format that we didn't mention, just a quick 60-second knock-up on court, Neil. Does that make it more difficult for them to get themselves used to this arena, particularly as they've been warming up earlier when it wasn't full, but now the full atmosphere is here for them to experience?
Yeah, I think, you know, we're generally in the arena when more people are coming in, and the shots tend to play a little bit quicker than they did when it's a little bit more empty, but you know, these guys have been warming up and preparing themselves mentally for the game, so the fact that it's only 60 seconds will make a huge difference. But it's almost like even more important, because if you have a slow start in this format, then you can quickly find yourself one set down and struggling in the game.
Sam Parsons in the luminous yellow shirt in the foreground of your picture. And on the other side of the net to him, the experienced man, the Dutch international, Eric Pang. 50-50 in his NBL history so far, Eric Pang, so we're not quite sure whether he's fully got used to the format yet, but this is third match night, he'll start to grow into it a bit more. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I saw him play against Henry Kuskainen in the first game of the season 2 and played extremely well. You know, playing against someone like Henry, who's got vast experience of playing in all the games in the first season of the AJFL NBL, so you know, the fact that he was able to turn Henry over was you know, a good start for him, so I think he'll be feeling quite confident of making a good impression in this game as well.
We are just about ready to get match night 4 underway. MK Badminton versus University of Nottingham Badminton. The men's singles to get us underway. The Milton Keynes crowd have been given horns this evening, which, Neil, I know you're a big fan of. They've replaced the clappers, or they've come in as well as the clappers to make as much noise as possible.
Yeah, adds a little bit of the...
It's the first point that goes the way of University of Nottingham Badminton, Eric Pang. He gets the second as well, both early gifts from Sam Parsons.
Yeah, not a great start from Sam, but he needs to settle down a little bit and just play himself into the game.
There's another feature of the NBL. A lot of times that would be a let and you'd replay the point. In the AJFL NBL, fault, so 3-love it is. And Eric Pang making his presence felt very quickly here. Races into a 4-point lead. That's a great rally, constructed really well by Eric Pang. He's got Sam Parsons running all over the court.
Yeah, it's looking a bit ominous really, that Eric is just soaking up all Sam's pace and the smashing that he's trying to do and try and play really flat, and he gets one opportunity and sticks it on the floor.
Out that one goes as well, and Sam Parsons, the home singles player, still without a point here.
Sam did really well, and to return Eric Pang's net shot, and fortunately for Eric, his racket just went over the tape and the umpire called a fault, so Sam's on the board.
A stroke of luck maybe that Sam Parsons needed. Off the frame of Eric Pang's racket. 3 in a row now for Sam Parsons. This is typical of the AJ Bell NBL, how quickly momentum shifts if you get a run of points.
Absolutely. Sam's sort of settled in. He's playing a few rallies now rather than just trying to win the point straight away. And especially in here, when a lot of the players have been looking at the height of the ceiling and the fact that the beams are a fault, so they haven't got the opportunity to play the big high defensive lifts or clears, so everything tends to be a bit fast and furious.
Eric Pang just stepping into that one nicely to stop the run of points for Parsons. And that has just caught the line, so it's game point to Eric Pang. Parsons wrong foots him there, and you think that's maybe where Sam's got to use his shot selection a bit better to get Eric Pang moving about, because he doesn't move as well as he maybe did 10 years ago.
If he's too predictable, then Eric's going to soak it up, like we said earlier. So a little bit of deception as Sam needs to do something a little bit different to get himself back in.
Oh, Sam Parsons was waiting and waiting for that one to drop. Made the decision that it was going to drop in, so played it very last minute. So it's game Eric Pang, 9-4 in the first game. We predicted that a bit closer than it was.
Yeah, it was a good start from Pang though. Sam looked a little bit nervous, a little bit tight, and whether the weight of Milton Keynes desperately needing a win to really kick-start their season, was weighed a little bit heavy in that first set, and it was, as I say, just went for a little bit too much. And Eric just sort of sat back and just waited for his opportunities and took them really nicely when he got them. So Sam's got a battle on his hands here now.
He has indeed. 1-0 Eric Pang leads.
Service over.
Just trying to be a little bit too clever at the net there, so Parsons not letting him get up that 6-love lead that he got in the first game.
I think what Sam needs to do is just needs to hang in this game and hope that Eric can start to cough up a few errors like he did then. Because he is a laid-back character, then quite often players like that can produce a few errors. And then when you add in great shots like the one, the cross-court smash that he just hit there, then it'll give him breathe some confidence and start to put some rallies together.
Didn't give Eric Pang a chance of getting to that one.
You can't afford to give Eric anything short at the back of the court because he's deceptive, he's hitting some decent angles, and it just makes it too easy if he gives him anything that's short of the back tram lines.
He's the taller, rangier man as well.
That's exactly the sort of rally that I was talking about earlier, just keeping himself in the rally, just not, making sure that there's enough pace on the shuttle that it's not too easy for Eric, but he will force a few errors from that.
There you have another one. And Sam Parsons, after 6 points of the first game, was love 6 behind. He's 4-2 in front here in the second game. Wow, we saw the terrific court coverage that Sam Parsons has there, but Eric Pang is the ability to pick out the tiniest of gaps.
Yeah, he's got good pace, Sam. He's a very physical player, so he will keep himself in a lot of rallies that by rights he should be out of. But say when you've got that level of quality, you can still get the shuttle on the floor.
just about. Parsons gets it at the net. Getting a bit vocal in a couple of his smashes there as well. You feel like he's building himself into this now.
Yeah, that was really good. It was a tight net shot from Pang there, but you know, Sam had read what he was going to do and was on the way before he even hit the shuttle. And so to hit that sort of brush net kill from when the shuttle's close to the net is a really difficult skill to execute.
Drops long from Eric Pang. 6-3 it goes now to Sam Parsons. He's put the first game well and truly out of his mind.
Yeah, just needs to keep this level of intensity now, and he's favourite for this set.
Well, Eric Pang and the Nottingham head coach Martin Lewis, who was right behind that.
Service over. 4-6.
They had a little word with the line judge who's right next to them, and it's been overturned. And that could prove crucial in this game. So that's a couple of points now for Eric Pang in a row. Closes the gap to 1.
Yeah, he just played a very similar shot to the one that Sam played when he killed from the net on the backhand side. Difficult shot, and Sam did well even to get a racket on it.
Get it back twice, but not 3 times. Eric Pang levels now, 6-6.
Just can't give him them short ones.
Brilliant angle to cut all the way across that and drop it cross court. And it puts him in the lead in this second game.
But again, the lift was a little bit short, and because Eric had hit the last few short lifts really hard, Sam was expecting the hard smash, but then just to pull the pace off was great.
Sam Parsons hits straight back though. It's 7-7, really tight here. Parsons needs this one in the context of this event. And he's so much so, he's playing the AJ Bell power play. Remember, this is worth 2 points to Sam Parsons, so this is game point to him. If Eric Pang wins this point, just a point for him. So double points for Sam Parsons if he wins this, and it will take us level at 1 game each. Oh, and he's put the smash into the net. How big a moment is that, Neil? How big is that of a mistake?
Well, he played the point nicely there. He got the lift, and that's what he wanted, but he just went for a little bit too much on the smash. It was there to go for. He played it the right way, but just didn't execute, unfortunately, for Sam. So he needs to collect himself now and make sure he doesn't lose the set.
Service over.
Eric Pang just about puts it into the net, and he doesn't look very happy with himself. It's 8-8. So it's game point to both players here. That's the beauty of the AJ Bell NBL. No need to win by 2 clear points. Winner of this point is the winner of the second game. And it's a great disguise from Eric Pang. And he's done so well there to recover from having the power play point played against him to turn that game around, and now he leads 2-0.
Yeah, it was there for Sam to take that game. He was in control of it for most of the way through. So you know, he'll be asking himself questions now about what can he do to take the set. So you know, if he's going to pull anything out of the bag here, now's the time to do it, because you know, you think that Eric's looking pretty confident. He's a pretty cool customer and is ready to take him.
Tough for him mentally to get over losing the first game by so much. Tough mentally in a completely different way now to get over losing the second game by so little. Yeah,
and you know, Sam's still learning his way in the game, and he's come across these situations before, but possibly, well, definitely not in this format. So it's interesting to see how he deals with it.
2-point gap early on in the third game for Eric Pang. Just wide this time from Pang, so Parsons on the board, keeps himself close. Good defence from Sam Parsons to keep that shuttle coming back, and as you say, just forced a mistake from Pang.
Yeah, he's just got to stay with him. You know, he's good enough to play these rallies, and you know, when he gets his opportunities, he can take them. But you know, it's making it quite difficult for him by making him turn and change direction all the time. So he's just got to hold on. And try and reduce the enforced errors. There's a couple at the start of this third set, but he just can't afford those. He's got to be really steady.
Diving Sam Parsons, unable to pick that one up. 2-point lead established again for Eric Pang. Small margins, but the small margins most of the time are going Eric Pang's way.
Yeah, it's always difficult when you're trying to force it and you're under that pressure. Then it's amazing the number of times the shuttle just misses.
They've both got a mistake or two in them, though, and as you say, Parsons just needs to stick with this. And shots like that won't do him any harm at all. Closes the gap to a single point, just cuts across it nicely. We saw a similar shot from Pang earlier on.
Yeah, it's just doing something a little bit different, isn't it? Not being predictable, and but still playing within that margin of error that means you're not going to make errors.
Pang hits straight back to wrong foot Parsons, though. A great rally, and it goes the way of Sam Parsons. A big boost to him in this third game.
Yeah, he did well to hang in there. Both players were really stretching each other. So for that error just to come right at the end of the rally was a real sort of bonus for Sam there.
We saw him just a moment ago trying to clear some of the moisture on the court with his feet. He's asked for the court mopper to come on now. Just make sure that there's no risk of losing his footing slightly, especially at this crucial stage of the first event tonight. But it's Eric Pang just keeping himself a little cushion as he gets towards the important end of this third game, and he's chosen to play the AJ Bell power play point, which means that this is match point to Eric Pang. Worth 2 points to him if he wins this point. That'll get him to the magic number of 9. And 9 it is for Eric Pang. 9-5, he takes the third game, and I've got to be honest with you, I didn't think this match would be over that quickly.
No, it was very impressive from Eric Pang. considering that he, as I say, he doesn't play and train on a regular basis now as his main occupation, then the level that he's still able to produce is obviously extremely high, and complete control of that game.
So University of Nottingham Badminton into a 1-0 lead here in this fixture here at the Oak Grove Leisure Centre. Next up on court, mixed doubles, Anders Christensen and Sophie Sankey against Rohan Mida and Ellen Mahentha-Ralingam. Sophie Sankey gave us a bit of entertainment, mainly due to her partner here on the last match night just before Christmas. No Gordon Thompson tonight, but an equally able partner in the experienced international Anders Christensen.
Yeah, Anders is a very good mixed player. He's played internationally. He's coming towards the end of his career, and he's doing more coaching now. And missed the last fixture with being away out in North America. So obviously we'll bring a different game of mixed to the one that Gordon gave us last time. The Nottingham pair are going to be right up against it. They're sort of far younger and less established on the circuit, so it's going to be important that they gel together. I'm not sure how much they've been able to practice or compete together, but they're certainly capable players. So it just depends on whether they can actually compete against the pair from MK.
Yeah, Rohan Mida, born and bred in Nottinghamshire, so representing his home franchise. This is his AJ Bell NBL debut this evening, and Ellen Mahentha-Ralingam has not had a lot of success in the AJ Bell NBL so far. She's been playing mainly women's doubles, but she's here today in the mixed, maybe in a bid to just change things up a little bit for University of Nottingham Badminton, because as we say, without a win on the road, it's kind of almost a good opportunity to experiment with a couple of partnerships that you think might work.
Absolutely, and with Chris Adcock missing from the team for this fixture, then clearly, being a male player such as Chris down, then it puts you at a slight disadvantage. So, like you say, it's a good opportunity to blood some of the younger players and see how they handle the format and the occasion.
Going through that 60-second or so warm-up on court. Just time then for me to point you in the direction of our social media outlets. If you are watching us live on the stream, or you're watching us on the UK rerun that's available from Wednesday at 5 o'clock, do let us know where you're watching the AJ Bell NBL from. Tweet us at @NBL_official. Use the hashtag AJBellNBL. We'd always love to hear from you on social media, and there's lots of news and competitions and all sorts going on the Twitter, even when there's not a match night on. So check out those on Twitter, and also nationalbadmintonleague.co.uk. Lots more video content on there, interviews with the players, and lots more. The up-to-date league table, all the fixtures that you need to know about. And also a big thank you to the league's proud new partners, AJ Bell. You'll hear us mention them quite a lot this evening. As we say, proud new partners of the National Badminton League for the second season, and also to Be Wiser for their support in a big year for English badminton. Here we go then for the second event. Mixed doubles, Anders Christensen and Sophie Sankey against Rohan Mida and Ellen Mahentha-Ralingam. And it is Mida that will start us off for the away team. And already Mida making a statement of his intent, didn't look nervous at all, tried the slightly riskier, deeper serve to just put Christensen on the back foot.
He started very well, very positive. He's clearly got a game plan that he's going to try a few flick serves and try and get the shuttle up in the air his end. And when he's had that opportunity to hit down, he's hit down well and scored a couple of points.
Fired at pace from Christensen right into the body of Ellen Mahentha-Ralingam. So MK Badminton on the board. Christensen just lets that one drop long. 2-2 we are now. Quite fast and furious. It's a bit of a contrast to a singles match, this.
Yeah, the shuttle generally sort of moves a little bit quicker in the doubles events. Nice and flat over the net, which is good. That's a good change of pace from Sophie Sankey. That would have been easier for her to lift out to the back of the court, which is what the Nottingham pair were expecting, but just to pull it into the mid-court. So it was a great change of tactic.
Christensen stepping into that one. Lightning quick for a 36-year-old.
Yeah, again, he went in, massive amount of pace, looking like he was going to hit hard, just cut around the side of the feathers of the shuttle. Great winner. A few errors from the Nottingham pair have let Milton Keynes take a bit of a stranglehold on this game.
Just a touch long again, and quickly up to 7-3 now from 3-all. Nice and intricate at the net there, and a good shot.
And again, you know, you can see what Sophie Sankey's game plan is for this, is to try not to lift, and you know, the game has turned since that clever little shot she played into the mid-court earlier, and she's carried on that and poised to take this game.
Not this time, says Rowan Midder. He stops the run of 5 straight points for Christensen and Sankey. But you'd still fancy them to take this first game. And they do so at the very next attempt. Christensen stepping straight in nice and easily. 9-4 it finishes after the first game.
Yeah, good start from Nottingham, but Christensen showed his class there. More than ably supported by Sophie Sankey, who just managed to sort of play the rallies when she was involved in it, trying to play to the strengths of her partner, which is exactly what mixed is about.
2 brand new partnerships, and MK Badmintons have settled the quicker here.
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Remember, University of Nottingham Badminton leading by 1 event to 0 so far after the men's singles. Eric Pang beating Sam Parsons.
Double play.
Just the short lift from Midder, unable to get it out of his body with enough depth. Christensen, more often than not, will punish you for that.
Absolutely. You know, good pace in the mid-court. Anything short is put on the floor, and you know, equally anything loose in the net, and you know, Sophie Sankey's is all over it, and formidable partnership.
It's clinical so far.
Service over. 1-2. Service over.
So look at that from Hemphill. It's a nice tight serve, good return. She saw an opportunity to try and intercept, but the shot was just a little bit past her.
Christensen knew, just as that passed his face, that was going to drop in.
Once you started moving for the mid-court, once you're in mid-air, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to watch the shuttle land behind you.
And then Sankey into the net, levels it up at 3-3. We got to this point in the first game, and then the MK pair ran away with it.
Service over. 4-3.
Midder was going for a bit of a drive serve then, and got a quizzical look from Anders Christensen, as if it was a foul serve. But Service just didn't call it, so
Service over. 4
play on.
all.
And Christensen looked almost bemused by that, didn't he?
5-4.
I think he hit Sophie's racket onto the shuttle.
Though to University of Nottingham Badminton.
Oh.
Teed that one up very nicely though for Christensen.
It was a good pace in that
5,
smash there.
6.
But it was a nice tight serve from Ellen as well. So Milton Keynes Pratt did really well then to win that point.
We're level again at
6
6-6, just when Nottingham thought they'd got a bit of a foothold. And it's Christensen that's doing all of the firing for MK Badminton. 3 points in a row for them to switch it round to 7-6. And Martin Lewis, the University of Nottingham Badminton head coach, is trying his best to use the air horn to call a timeout. His assistant's got it working now. But it is a timeout call. 45 seconds for Martin Lewis to have a quick chat with his pair after it's been spun around on its head this game.
Yeah, anything that's in the mid-court, sort of the space in between the front and the back, then Christensen's onto the shuttle so quickly, so if the shuttle's there to be hit, he's hitting it with so much pace, and the Nottingham pair haven't really got an answer to that. So if they carry on doing that, then Christensen's just going to just like steamroll over the top of them. So I would imagine that Martin Lewis, the head coach for Nottingham, is saying he needs to try and mix it up a little bit. It's got to go deep, it's got to go short, rather than just like feeding that drive of Christensen all the time.
It's 3 points in a row that Christensen won for his team to put them 7-6 in front. And that becomes 8-6 and game point.
8.
Yeah,
Game
he's just
point.
dropped into that space, which enables Christensen to have a go at it in the mid-court. He isn't missing many of those today.
Sankey lifts it long though, so
Service
University
over.
of Nottingham
7,
stay
8.
in touch. And they've opted to use the AJ Bell
play by
power play
University of
point.
Nottingham.
So this is game point to both
7.
pairs.
Game
2
point.
points, remember,
8.
on offer for University of Nottingham Badminton if they win this point. A single point is all that MK Badminton need. And that has dropped only just long. So great use of the AJ Bell power play point. University of Nottingham Badminton spin it back around again and they win it 9-8.
Yeah, good use of the power play there. I think it was important, it's early to take in the game, but you know, it's got them a foothold in the game now. They can hopefully for Nottingham they can build from that. I think Christensen and Sankey would be a little bit disappointed they didn't take that second set as well. So you know, certainly they won't be worried too much about Nottingham getting back into the game a little bit, and they'll just continue their game plan and look to continue.
And we're right near that line where the shuttle just drops out. That's pretty brave from Rowan Midder at that stage of the game and of the fixture overall to let that drop.
Well, the shuttles, the pink tip shuttle does fly a little bit quicker through the air than a regulation shuttle, so I think he was probably closer than we thought he was going to be.
So 1-1 we stand.
Over. 1 love.
So it's good playing the mid-court from both the ladies there, but as soon as the lift comes in that's short, then Christensen's all over those.
Yeah, the deep serve put MK Badminton in control of that rally. 3-love very quickly in this third game. They're just putting it on a plate for MK at the moment.
4 love.
This is great stuff from MK Badminton, and what a way to respond to losing the second game on the power play.
Coach.
5 love quickly becomes 6 love. You may have heard the umpire there telling University of Nottingham Badminton coach Martin Lewis to not make any vocal coaching. It's not allowed during points. They've got before the game, they've got after the game, and they've got the timeouts.
Service
That's it.
over. 1-6.
Almost an amazing shot from Christensen there. He went to play a little soft one, and both the Nottingham pair started to move towards it, and then somehow with the racket speed to drive it cross court, but just missed the outside of the line.
They've got a point on the board in this game, University of Nottingham Badminton, but MK switch it straight back around, 7-1. Good agility there from Mida to react to that serve.
Service over. 2-7.
As he has done throughout this
Service
event,
over.
straight down from Christensen,
Game point,
8-2,
2.
game point for MK Badminton.
Service over. 3-8.
Got 5 more goes at a game point though.
Game.
And they need just the one of them. So the biggest margin in a game yet in this mixed doubles match, 9-3. Normal service resumed, if you like.
I think so. I mean, again, you can see what the Nottingham pair are trying to do. They're trying not just to hit the shuttle hard through the mid-court, and it just meant that they dropped in a few too many errors and then ended up lifting it to Christensen at the rear court. And you know, he really isn't missing much at all. And you know, when he gets the opportunity, then he's hitting the shuttle with good pace, and he's better than the defence of the Nottingham pair. So big tough ask now. They've got no power plays they can use in this set. So
Level play.
it's a good start though.
Service over. 1 love.
There's that killer smash of Christensen again.
He doesn't really hit with any sort of big swing or backlift or very much at all, but he seems to times the shuttle so nicely out the middle of his racket, and it goes down so quick.
Does that make it more difficult to work out what he's going to do as well, because there's a bit of disguise behind it?
From such a short action, then he could pull it straight, cross court, take the pace off it as well, so very difficult to read.
3.
A couple of mistakes at the net from the MK pair though.
Service over. 2-3.
Apologies to the Nottingham pair as well, if they watch this back, but you know, short lifts and Christensen is hammering everything, but it is difficult when the shot's coming out with so much pace, and the perception is that there's no way you can hit it on the court, so you have to lift it high. It's good taking the pace off, making the Milton Keynes pair lift it, and then they gain control of the rallies a little bit more.
4-2.
Once again, too hot to handle from Christensen.
3-4. Service over.
Not particularly pleased with himself after that one. Every time that Nottingham build a 2-point lead and you think, right, they need to keep this cushion, MK just keep coming back at them.
Okay, it's nice tight return to serve, making it quite difficult to do anything with.
Stake at the net again from Sankey. Again, a 2-point lead for University of Nottingham Badminton.
Again, you can see the idea from Rita there. He was trying to hit a punch fast clear into the rear court over Sophie Sankey's head, but just didn't quite catch it in the middle of the strings. And Sophie was able to hit the smash from the short lift then.
And that 2-point gap very quickly disappears once again. 6-all it is now.
Service over. 7-6.
Just as you get yourself back in front, service error makes it 7-7. And the power play called by MK Badminton, which makes this match point for them. 2 points on offer, remember. MK Badminton, if they win this point, they have won. And they do so off the backhand of Anders Christensen. Rohan Mina dives but can't reach it. 9-7. They use the power play to perfection. And MK Badminton are level in this fixture at 1-1.
Yeah, I think the right result there, that the Milton Keynes pair had control of the vast majority of the match there, and they were worthy winners in the end. I think Christensen was just a little bit too hot to handle on the net, as you mentioned earlier, that the pace he was able to generate from the mid-court all the way through to the rear court was the difference in that game then. Just
a score update for you from around the AJ Bell NBL. It went to a final point shootout in the mixed doubles, but Loughborough Sport are 1-0 up down at Surrey Smashers after the mixed doubles. As I say, we'll do our best to keep you up to date. If you want to follow it yourself, at @NBL_official is our Twitter handle. If you want to tweet about it, hashtag AJBellNBL. Don't forget, in under a month, the English National Badminton Championships are coming to the University of Derby Sports Centre. What a brand new arena that is. We've seen it in the NBL. It's the home of Team Derby, and the Nationals are taking place there next month. Over 200 of the nation's finest players competing for national titles. That's the 5th to the 7th of February. Lots of the AJ Bell NBL stars will be on show there. Tickets from £6 for children, £12 for adults. Tickets online. Search Derby Live or go to the Badminton England website. Lots of opportunity for you to watch top-class badminton in this country. And the AJ Bell NBL is just one of the ways that they're trying to make it more accessible to the crowd. And we see that in the NBL every match night. Most of the stands full, lots more people watching at home as well.
Absolutely, it's been a great advert for English badminton. We've got some really good players in the country at the moment, and the success of the league over the first season has attracted a few more of the sort of European stars as well. So it's just going from strength to strength.
So it is. MK Badminton 1, University of Nottingham Badminton 1. Next up on court, you can see them warming up there. It is the women's singles. Caroline Wesley of MK Badminton against Yao Ji of University of Nottingham Badminton. Both players still looking for their first win in this competition, so one of them won't be looking for much longer. How do you see this one, Neil?
Again, difficult one to call. That you know, Caroline played Fontaine Chapman in the last match night for MK, and you know, Fontaine is our top lady singles player at the moment, and had a tough night of it. Yao Ji has been a world-class lady singles player in the time, but again is on the other side of her career, and he's sort of not playing on the world stage anymore. So you know, the sort of the youth of Caroline, if she can get amongst it and try and reduce her error rate and try and force the pace a little bit, she'll have a chance against Yao.
Yao Ji has shown her class with the racket in her 2 appearances in the AJBL NBL so far, but as you say, at 39, perhaps not as mobile as she'd like to be, but she's got a decent reach on her as well.
Yeah, she's a very skillful player, and you know, you don't get into the top 10 in the world by pure fortune and just being able to run around. You know that, you know, she's got sort of good skills, she's got good tactical awareness, so we'll know exactly how to play the likes of Caroline. So it'll just depend whether she's got the physicality to overcome her.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yao Ji to serve, love all, play. So this fault called.
Well, interesting way to start this 3rd event of the night.
Yeah, it's unusual in ladies singles to see you know, back
One,
and low serve as
low.
well. So a back and low serve that's a foul is even more unusual.
Makes up for it straight away, though.
Yeah, one of the problems that Caroline Wesley's going to face is that, in a very similar way to Eric Pang, is that she's got a very sort of long, languid style, which is incredibly deceptive. So, you know, if she gives Yao Ji time on the shuttle, then she'll be able to hit the shuttle to wherever she wants, and it'll be a very difficult night for Caroline again.
2-1.
She doesn't want another one of those.
And that's the sort of shot she needs to
3-1.
avoid, really, is that where there's very little sort of pressure on the net shot to play an error from there. Is she can't afford those.
Good disguise on that one, though.
Yeah, that's
Caroline.
much better. She had her turning into the corners of the court, which is just going to stress the hips and the knees and the muscles to sort of get her back into position. So that's the way she needs to play.
So it's over, 4-2. Two.
Just trying to pull and push her across court, but making a couple of errors so far, Caroline Wesley.
Yeah, it's the right idea, but she's trying to employ that strategy of really trying to make a turn and change direction, but she has to keep the shuttle in the court.
Mistake from Yao Ji to let that one drop.
3-6.
Caroline Wesley getting some good backing from the home crowd as well. She makes the right decision up at the other end, closes the gap to 2 points. Great quality from Yao Ji, though, just to drop that over.
Yeah, that's the sort of the deception and the real advantage that she has, is that it looks like she's going to play the shuttle anywhere but there, and then just pulls it into that spot in the court. It's really hard to read.
8-4.
All of a sudden,
8
she
game
has
points.
game
4.
point. Doesn't convert the first one. She'll get 3 more goes, though. Oh, yell of dismay from Caroline Wesley at herself there. She loses the first game 5-9.
Yeah, she played the rally well, had a chance to make Yao Ji stretch for another low, deep lunge, which, you know, they do take their toll, and especially, like you say, at 39, then that's the last thing that you want to be doing. So she can make, if Caroline can make her play a few more of those and try and hang into the game, then you know, she's still in with the fight here.
Quick update from the game that's live on Sky Sports tonight in the AJ Bell NBL. Team Derby are off to a winning start. They lead Birmingham Lions 1-love after the men's doubles. That's
Second game.
going on live on Sky Sports, our broadcast partner.
Not all. Play.
I feel like Caroline Wesley is trying to find
1 love.
too finer angle here.
That's a nice shot. It looked like she was struggling there, and the only shot that she could play was maybe a deep high lift, but to have the control to pull that cross-court net shot, it just shows the quality.
3 love.
That's the kind of point that Caroline Wesley needs to win. The longer ones where she can use her pace and court coverage a bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. She played that really well there. Had a couple of chances. You know, managed to sort of keep in the point. And, but it's amazing when you feel under that sort of level of pressure, then you know, relatively straightforward shots that, you know, some of the net shots that she's missed, she'll be really disappointed. That, you know, in practice, then she'll play those 10 times out of 10. But you know, knowing that you've got to try and do a little bit more on it because, you know, what's going to come back is going to be worse than causes the error. And then if you give her, yeah, as you said before, if you give her time on the shuttle, then she can pretty much hit the shuttle wherever she wants it to go.
Similar shot to a couple of points ago as well. So good at just reaching down, getting that pick up and dropping it just short on the other side of the net. And the timeout is called by Sarah Sankey of MK Badminton, with Caroline Wesley trailing 1-6 in the second game. Is there much that Sarah can say at this stage?
Well, it's just what we've been saying, that, you know, she's just got to stick in with the rallies and just not try and go for too much unless it's there to go for. And, you know, the more that she can physically tire Yao Ji out, then the more chance that she's got. But at the moment, then she's just letting her off the hook every so often when, you know, she's got her exactly where she wants her, and just like a few hours here and there, just releases the pressure for Yao Ji, and then she can just carry on playing the shots. So she's just got to keep battling, because if she plays a game, then she can stick in the points here, and you know, Yao Ji will get tired.
Well, we've seen flashes of it in the odd rally, but not consistently enough this evening so far from Caroline Wesley.
One, play.
the perfect start straight out of the timeout, forcing Yao Ji to a part of the court she couldn't get to very easily. We waited half a second there for the call. Out it is, 7-2.
7-2.
And that one is just out as well. Game point, Yao Ji. Just clinical from Yao Ji. 9-2.
Second game won by University of Nottingham. 9-2.
Again, a similarly
University of
impressive
Nottingham
performance
lead 2 games
to
to
Eric in the
love.
men's singles. Complete control of the shuttle. She's knocking it exactly where she wants to. You know, she's looking a bit labored, but you know, she knows that she can pretty much put the shuttle wherever she wants. So you know, while the errors are coming from Caroline and she's got time on the shuttle, then she'll feel in control.
I don't know if they've got children or not, Eric Pang and Yao Ji. They are married, but if they have, imagine how good they're going to be at badminton.
I mean, some of the shots that Yao Ji's coming out with, they're not in any of the manuals. You know that you know, coaches don't teach that. It's just natural talent and just being able to work out what that racket will do when you hold it in different ways and where you can actually get the shuttle to go to. It's great to watch.
One love.
That's a rare mistake from Yao Ji. Haven't seen that very much this evening.
The other thing that Caroline's going to be hoping for is that Yao Ji's concentration will slip a little bit and she might come up with a few more errors.
Service over. 2-1.
Look up to the rafters from Caroline Wesley, because as much as she's got to force Yao Ji into a couple of mistakes, she has to eradicate her own, and she has to do it very quickly.
Again, a similar pattern that she played the rally really well. She had the shuttle where she wanted it, but then just when she needed that extra little bit of composure, then the error just creeps in.
That's better.
Yeah, it was good disguise. Then she looked like she was going to hit with pace again and just pulled across the side of the shuttle for a winner. That'll give her a little bit more confidence.
Yao Ji's clear has had Caroline Wesley in a lot of problems. She's forcing her so far back. Caroline's not the tallest of players. She's constantly reaching behind her.
But the other difference, as you see, is that because she's so deceptive, she can't predict where the shuttle's going to go. So she's having to wait until Yao Ji's hit the shot, which is already putting her on the back foot when the clear's going deep over her head. So you can see why it's happening. She needs to do almost like get one in first before, you know, not give Yao Ji that time on the shuttle to hit the shot she wants.
Caroline Wesley just catches the line. And she's calling the AJ Bell power play right in the middle of this third game to try and get her nose in front, I guess, for psychological reasons as well as the fact she'll be in front of the game. But for her to lead at some stage in the game will be a bonus for her. But even that's not worked out for her this evening.
Five, 3.
5-3 now, Yao Ji. There's a look across the net from Caroline Wesley as if to say, what can I do about that?
3.
Well, it's a bit short and flat, so it's just needed to move her away from that centre of the court like that one.
But then, as you say, again constructs the rally quite well and just can't execute the finishing shot. Yao Ji wanted to play her AJ Bell power play there, but the rules state that the players can't use it in the same game. So with Wesley already having used hers, Yao Ji not able to. Just wanted to finish in style there, I think, Neil.
Which I'm sure she will anyway.
I'm sure she will, but she wasn't very happy. It's the first real outlay of emotion or a sense of how she's feeling on the court there, that one. Caroline Wesley hanging on in there at 5-7. Closing the gap here. Has Yao Ji just been rocked a little bit by the power play? Did it switch her off for a second?
Yes, you can see the finish line as well, and quite often you level dips a little bit.
It's into the net from Yao Ji. Caroline Wesley tightens it up at 7-7. It's a timeout called by Martin Lewis of the University of Nottingham Badminton. Maybe just to break up the rhythm of Wesley's run of points more than anything.
Absolutely, it's a good time to call it. You know, she can't take the power play, so the other new feature that she's eligible to take was the timeout. So Neil White, the assistant coach of University of Nottingham Badminton, probably just telling her just to refocus. Whereas Sophie Sankey from MK Badminton is saying, well, come on, just keep going. You've won the last few points now. Just keep the momentum high. Really important to win this next point and then see if she can nick a set.
Yao Ji needs just 2 more points to win this third event. Make that 1. It's match point.
8, match point 7.
Wesley holds off that match point. She creates a game point of her own here to force us into a 4th game. It's game point Wesley. It's match point Yao Ji. Yes, and the former world number 4 wins her first ever AJ Bell NBL event. She takes it by 3 games to love, close in the final one there at 9-8. But University of Nottingham Badminton are back in front here.
Yeah, I think again the class sort of showed at the end that certainly the shots that Yao Ji was able to pull during most of that game, you know, with the difference. She was starting to look a little bit tired though, and I think if Caroline could have just hung on in there and just reduced that error rate and a couple of more long rallies, and she could have been in with a chance if she had nicked that set.
Who knows, but it's high fives all round for Yao Ji. That's her first AJ Bell NBL victory. And as we say, puts University of Nottingham Badminton back in front here, 2-1. Remember, they've never won away from home in the AJ Bell NBL, not in season 1 and not so far in the 2nd season either. So they are on course for an away win at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, looking at the teams, you know, as they lined up, then you know, the first 3 games were quite predictable, but these next 2 doubles events could go either way. So the tie's still open.
So next on court, then it's the women's doubles. Marie Rutke and Clara Niestad of MK Badminton against Jess Pugh and Cheryl Synan of the University of Nottingham Badminton. Some quality out here, Neil, and quite a close match coming up, we hope.
Yeah, I think the MK pair were thought quite highly in the last game, and were a little bit disappointing against the Birmingham University side in the ladies' double. So they'll be looking to redress that and have a better performance that reflects their ability. Whereas the two girls from Nottingham, the two young ladies doubles players, also play a good game of mixed as well. So you know they'll be a formidable pair, I would think, that both play sort of quite high energy stuff and cover the court well. So it would be a good contrast of styles.
Interesting that Jess Pugh played the first season of the AJ Bell NBL at MK Badminton. She's made the switch this year. She cites Chris Adcock, who's not here tonight, playing away in Asia, but she cites Chris Adcock as the reason she couldn't turn down the chance to play alongside him in the mixed doubles.
Yeah, she's had some good mixed performances with Toby Penty for MK Badminton last year. Both players have since moved on to other franchises, but you can see for a young player like Jess, who's making her way in the game, to pick up a few tips from playing with Chris on a regular basis is a worthwhile draw for her to make the switch.
Clara Niestad made her AJ Bell NBL debut on the previous match night alongside Marie Rutke. And it didn't turn out the way she'd have wanted to. They lost in 4 games to Anita Kaur and Sarah Walker of Birmingham Lions. But Clara is a Swedish under-21 international. She only really knew about the AJ Bell NBL, or certainly that she was going to be playing in it, a matter of days before. She only joined them a couple of days before match night 3, so she's had a bit more time to get her head around it, and you'd probably expect an improved performance from her, and certainly them as a pair.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Marie has played a couple of games now as well, so it takes a bit of time to adjust to this sort of format and how to play, and playing with different people and with different rules and that sort of thing. Then it does take a bit of time. Okay, the bit of a discussion about the speed of the shuttle. You notice that the players were just testing the shuttle before the start of the game, and I think we mentioned earlier with the extra number of people in the hall and the heat and the humidity just gone up a little bit. It's just made the shuttles fly a little bit more. So what the service judge is doing at the moment is just bending the tip of every 4th feather outwards, and just to make it fly a little bit slower, so it goes into the legal speed limit there.
Got a little flick off the top of the net there for Marie Rutke, but her and Clara Niestad are off the mark. It's 1-2.
Yeah, it's been a tense start. When the shuttle's going around the net and it's with not much pace on it, there's very little margin for error. So it's important that the players get the feel of the shuttle, and especially if the shuttles are flying a little bit quick as well, they become a little bit harder to control.
Straight down the line from Cheryl Synan. 4-2.
Yeah, cross courts in doubles are fraught with danger. So as soon as that, it was a good drive, defensive shot from Niestad there, but with Synan there ready to cut it off, then there's no return if the opposing players can get it.
Good call from Sinan, telling Jespew to leave that one. University of Nottingham Badminton doing all the pushing and pulling at the moment, finding all the shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Nista did incredibly well to get the shot back deep in the backhand corner, but it just prolonged the inevitable with Nottingham in complete control of the rally. The Nottingham pair seem a little bit more effective when Sinan's at the rear court and Jespew's playing around the net. So I think the more they can engineer themselves into those positions, then Sinan's hitting with great pace on the rear court, and he's proving a little bit too much for the defence of the MK goes. That's a nice deep return from Rupka there, putting Jespew in all sorts of trouble at the rear court there. Sort of when it's deep and low like that, there's not very many options you can play.
That goes long, as Sinan called again, so it's game point University of Nottingham Badminton, 8-5. Great pickup from Rupka, first time. She can't get to the second one though, so it's 9-5 University of Nottingham Badminton. They lead by 1 game to love.
Yeah, considering that they probably haven't played a great deal together, then the Nottingham girls have played really well as a pair. They've moved around each other, they've covered the spaces, and have got good control of what's actually happening at the moment. The MK pair are almost like just chasing the shuttle all the time, and have got less control and are just relying on either a great winner or an error from Nottingham to win their points.
There've not been too many of those so far this evening. University of Nottingham Badminton pair playing very effectively, very clinically. They've not given a lot away so far.
Yeah, it's a good level of control. I think they feel that
ladies, ready to play?
there's not a massive amount that the MK pair can do to hurt them, so they're just quite confidently pushing the shuttle around, waiting for an opening.
1 love. Service over. 1-all.
This is a bit better from MK Badminton at the start of this second game.
Yeah, similar thing we said before about that cross-court drive. It was a good shot, but if you're not in a position to get the next straight one that goes down the line, there's not too much you can do about it.
Sinan's been pretty good at calling them out so far, not quite so much so with that one. Jespew working hard at the back of the court and then stepping in to win the point and stop the run of points for MK Badminton. as we said at the end of the first game, not a huge amount of mistakes in University of Nottingham Badminton's play, but a couple just creeping in early on in the second game.
Yeah, I think the MK pair have just stood up for themselves a little bit and actually tried to be a bit more aggressive and a bit more positive, and you know, it has forced a few errors from MK.
Service over. 3-5.
Just long, so we're level at 5-5. And they've spun it around here after a bit of a blip at 2-5 down.
Yeah, that's good use of changing pace from Cheryl Simon there. She's hit everything front and hard, but just again, just cut her on the outside of the feathers, just drew a little bit of pace off the shuttle, making the, you know, Nestad was a little bit early on the defence then because she was expecting the shuttle to come a little bit quicker. And it's those little things like that that almost like make it look like an error, but actually, in fact, it's because it was you know, an intelligent shot from Cheryl Simon.
Anders Christiansen has joined the MK Badminton coaching bench alongside Sarah Sankey. It's he that's called the timeout here,
15 seconds.
with his pair trailing 5-6 and love 1 in this fourth event of the night.
Thank you, Chris.
Martin Lewis using the opportunity to speak to Jess Pugh and Cheryl Simon as well. They're holding a slender advantage at the moment. Not for much longer, 6-6.
Service over, 7-6. Just change it, Clark, just change it.
Cheryl Simon wins the battle at the net as well, so it's game point University of Nottingham Badminton to take a 2-game lead in the women's singles.
Game.
And they get it as Rutger fires it into the net, so 9-6 it is. University of Nottingham Badminton just 1 game away now from their first ever away win in the HA Bell NBL.
Yeah, it's a much more even game, but again, you still felt that, you know, the passages of play that were most effective came from the Nottingham pair, and had a little bit more control and probably had the fewer errors in that game, rather than, you know, the first set the Nottingham pair won it, whereas possibly the MK pair just lost it at the end there.
On the live game on Sky Sports tonight, it's Team Derby 1, Birmingham Lions 1 now. Fontaine Chapman has won her 6th consecutive women's singles event, so she's levelled Birmingham at 1 apiece against Team Derby on Sky Sports. Loughborough Sport 2-0 up over Surrey Smashers, courtesy of Henry Huskainen.
Positive start from MK, and you just get the feeling that, you know, that they were successful in the second set by just taking it to the Nottingham pair a little bit more, and just need to carry on doing that.
Yes, there's no doubt that they've got the shots in their locker.
And the more pressure that they can build, the likelihood is that Nottingham will start to come up with a few more errors as well, so it all goes round.
Service over, 2-all.
shake of the head from Clara Nystad. 2-2.
That's a nice shot from Marie Rutger there. Again, looked like she's going to play with a bit of pace. Just took the pace off at the last minute, and there's not much the Nottingham pair could do about that one.
She was about to snap the racket there. Clara Nystad not very happy with herself at the moment. A couple of mistakes in a row, and there's a power play called by University of Nottingham. Remember, 2 points available if they win this point. Nystad into the net again. 2 points off the AJ Bell power play for Pugh and Synan. 5-3 now.
I was thinking it's quite early to take in the, in this particular set, but what it does mean that MK can't play theirs now, so possibly a tactical play as much as to win the points, but to stop the MK from doing the same. It's a good angle there from Cheryl Synan, sort of good pace on it, and Rutger was expecting something a little bit closer to the centre of the court, but to pull it right out wide was a good spot.
That's a bit better from the MK pair, but they're just doing it in sort of fits and starts. They're not really producing it consistently enough at the moment.
It's well led by Jess P there, so it may well be coming into the mid-court on a forehand. Took a bit of a gamble, and it was like right there on the racket for her.
Service over. 5-7. Service over. 8.
Service error
Match
from
point.
Marie
5.
Rutger means that it's match point, University of Nottingham Badminton. And they take it off of another Nystad error. 9-5 in the third game of the women's double. So that means, for the first time in AJ Bell NBL history, University of Nottingham Badminton have won an away fixture. How about that?
Yeah, well, just looking at the University of Nottingham coaches there, were giving each other high fives, and I think they've recognised the significance of this moment, that Nottingham finally got that elusive away win.
3-1 they lead here on match night 4, and this could be a big one in the context of the season overall, because MK Badminton are still without a win.
Still without a win, but every point that you pick up helps them within the table, so there's still stuff to fight for them.
There is still plenty to fight for in the 5th and final event to come here tonight at the Oak Grove Leisure Centre. It's the men's doubles. Peter Mills, the MK Badminton captain, alongside Sean Vendy, and they go up against the two Adams, Adam Hall and Adam Quilina, who have been making a bit of a name for themselves in the AJ Bell NBL this year.
Yeah, had a really good start, played really well. Seemed to gel straight away, considering that Adam Quilina is very experienced, but Adam Hall is very inexperienced, and has taken to this NBL format really well. So, in a similar way, Sean Vendy, who's again an up-and-coming English player, and Pete Mills, who's the experienced campaigner. So we've got like for like on the court. So it'll be a good one to see which pair can overcome the challenge ahead of them.
Mills and Vendy got their first win on their debut as a pair on match night 3 against Gary Fox and Cone Ridder of Birmingham Lions. 3-1 they won that one. We watched that and we were pretty impressed with them.
Yeah, no, very good, very good. No, it's a very tricky game against a couple of experienced left-handed players who play to a very high level and have also performed very well in the NBL. So for them to be successful in that game was a good show of their level in this particular format. So, you know, both pairs in form, you know, and expect some fireworks in this game.
And just a word on Adam Quilina, the first Polish player to come into the AJ Bell NBL. He's been made the captain of the University of Nottingham Badminton as well. So he's proving his worth very early on. Some players struggle to settle to start with in the AJ Bell NBL. It takes him a little while to get going, but he's become a fan's favourite and captain already. Yeah,
he's that sort of character where he clearly enjoys playing badminton. He clearly enjoys the team format because the majority of these players that play on the world circuit, then you know they play on their own for with the majority of the season. And you hear it when Andy Murray was talking about the Davis Cup, and that team spirit and the team ethos is very appealing to players who play individual sports. So you can see what the draw is, and the fact that we've got a good crowd and we've got good atmospheres, it all adds to the occasion.
Does indeed. The final event then of match night 4.
Play.
Straight down the middle from Mr. Hall. Can't call them Adam. That'll get confusing.
So 1 love.
Certainly what tends to happen on the men's doubles early on, especially in the first few points as they try and feel each other out, they can be over pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's very small margin of error, especially when the shuttle's around the net, and big guys looking to kill the shuttle all the time. So you see a few errors into the tape until they get the sort of the speed of the game and the pattern of what the rallies are like. Again, because these guys are hitting the shuttle so hard, then when the shuttles do go quick, then...
Guys, do you want to do 4? Yes, do 4, please.
It just makes the shuttle so difficult to control.
Thank you, boys.
But when they test the shuttle from the back of the
3-1.
court, there's 2 little markings on the side tram line that the shuttle is supposed to land within those markings, and that says that the shuttle is of legal speed. So, if you notice when Nottingham tested the shuttle, it almost went out the back tram line, so clearly the shuttle is quick.
So this over, 2, 3.
Good smashing from Adam Hall to begin with. Everything he's hit's hit the floor, so he's having a great start.
Very tight at the net there. Quilina comes out on top, and a small hand of apology that I'm sure he didn't mean.
There's a nice idea from Sean Brandy there. He played a bit of a gamble and took the pace off, and then went for the kill at the net. Just didn't quite catch it.
Gets a bit of luck next time round though. 5-5, nothing to choose between these two at the moment.
another effective smash from Adam Hall. You know, he's
6-all.
you know, the MK pair can't really keep affording to give him free hits from the back of the court because he's destroying them.
Six.
It's the power of Sean Vendy that we've come to enjoy in the AJPL NBL.
Yeah, it's becoming a contest here where neither pair really want to lift it, because you know, as soon as the shuttle goes up the other side of the court, then 9 times out of 10 that the side that's attacking is winning all the rallies.
It's Adam Quilina and Adam Hall that get to game point first, 8-7. But that quickly becomes game point to both pairs. This looks already to be a pivotal point in this men's doubles match. Yeah, and that goes with the theme of the first game. Adam Hall, deadly with his smash, 9-8. They take it a very close start.
Yeah, great first game. You know, on balance, I think Nottingham probably put together the best rallies. But this can still go either way. Vendy and Mills were very unlucky not to take that set equally. Their stuff around the net was probably a little bit better, but the stuff from Nottingham from the rear court was just, especially Adam Hall, was really explosive and too much for them to handle in most cases.
15 seconds. 15 seconds. Second game.
Treated to a very close contest in the first game. How will the second pan out?
One love. Service over. 1-all.
Adam Hall didn't get any look off of his serve on the previous point, but he got all the look there. That one took an age to tumble over.
Yeah, I think Nottingham got away with one there. That, by all rights, then MK should have taken that point. But great use of the net from Adam Hall. I was going to say earlier that the players do practice when returning serve, trying to hit net chords so it stops dead, but I don't think they practice net chords from that deep in the court. So we'll credit him the one that he did on the return of serve, but maybe not that one.
2-1.
You're very generous.
Service fault called. I don't.
I was just going to say that it looked awfully high. The last couple of serves were very borderline and got away with those, but that one did appear to be a little bit high.
Service over. 4-2.
Attacking from Milton Keynes there, good pace from the rear court, good deception from the front of the court. So, certainly the pair that are attacking from the rear court are in control of the majority of these rallies. So it's all about who gives that lift away first.
Mills and Vendy level it up at 4-4. Just when the CT of Nottingham pair looked like they were going to start building a bit of a lead.
Service over. 5-4.
Great defence from Sean Vendy there. When the smash is coming down that side, to have the control to turn that cross court using the pace of the smash is very difficult to execute, so really good.
Very tight, right in front of our commentary position here, but
7,
just
5.
out. Game point, University of Nottingham Badminton. Again, chance to go 2-love in front. Not this time. Sean Vendy prevents it happening.
Yeah, it's good aggressive play from Sean there. He saw an opportunity and carried on going. Good positive play.
Good hands a couple of times at the net from Mills, but not third time. 9-6. Adam Hall and Adam Quilina take the second game, one game away from a 4-1 win overall for University of Nottingham Badminton tonight.
Yeah, that last rally then, you know, Pete Mills, you could see he didn't want to lift it because he knew that if he lifted it, that was the end of the rally. So just forced him into trying to have to make something from that was a little bit more difficult and couldn't quite pull it off. So you can just see where the pressure comes from, that, you know, the fact that the attacking plays is so much more effective in this court, in this hall with these shuttles than the defensive play. So it's all about the pairs trying to turn it so that they've got maintaining that advantage in the rallies.
Score updates for you from across the AJ Bell NBL tonight. Team Derby 2-1 up at home to Birmingham Lions, live on Sky Sports. Loughborough Sport 3-0 in front against Surrey. Here in the final event of the fixture here at MK Badminton, University of Nottingham leading the men's doubles 2-love.
Service over. 1-all.
Not seen too many of those unforced errors from Adam Hall so far tonight, but he certainly gave one there. Nottingham had good control of that rally, and it was almost too easy to kill, and fortunately for Adam, he just pulled it into the net.
3-1. Service over. 2-3.
Vendy celebrated there.
No, I think it was Quilina that celebrated the fact that Vendy made an error, so there was an exchange of glances between the two guys there.
Well spotted Aquilina likes to
3-4.
ruffle a few feathers, if you like.
Shake of the head from Adam Hall there. He's had a couple of errors in this game, so you know, Quillian has just had a little word with him, just trying to gee him back up again, regain his focus.
Quillian by far the more experienced of the two. Tendency, if you're 19 and you've been playing well, but you've made a couple of points, that you start to question your decision making and your own execution.
A bit of a clash of rackets with the MK guys that resulted in Pete Mills breaking the frame of his racket there. So quick change. As is customary with when a new racket comes onto court, then players do afford you the chance just to have a little knock with it, make sure that the string's okay, and the grip's okay, that sort of thing.
Service fault called.
They're still not happy with those service calls, but again, it's borderline every single time he serves. So when he flick serves, then it becomes even more of a risk that it'll be a foul.
Peter Mills and Sean Vendy playing the AJ Bell power play point here, leading 5-4 in the third game. And Adam Hall puts it straight into the body of Sean Vendy, so they prevent the power play from double points.
5-4.
We're level at 5-5.
Quillian did well as well then, because he broke a string in that exchange. So.
5-all.
Peter Mills just saying now that he'd play the power play again because the announcer here in the Oak Grove Leisure Centre played the AJ Bell power play sting a little bit too late. Going from AJ Bell power play to timeout now, called by MK Badminton's Anders Christiansen. 5-6 behind, just 3 points away from defeat.
Yeah, he's come on with some very clear instructions for the MK guys there, that some very direct words. I think that this is there and this is there for them to take, but they just need to gain control of the points. There's, you know, there's very little to choose between these two pairs, but obviously Nottingham got the two-game advantage at the moment, but you know, all the games have been tight, haven't they?
Yeah, he stormed on as well, Christiansen, knowing he's only got 45 seconds to get his point across. He wasn't going to waste any of them. A couple of pats on the back and a few fist pumps to try and gee up Peter Mills and Sean Vendy. And they get the first point out of the timeout, level at 6-6.
Service over. 7-6. No, not in the same game, Adam.
Second time tonight that somebody's tried to play the AJ Bell power play when their opponent's having that game. Not allowed.
It's one of those net cords I was telling you about before. The thing is, when you take the shuttle so close to the net at tape height, there's a good chance if you connect it right, it hits the net and goes over. So you can see why they do it.
They can, especially if they follow it up with a point like that, because it's 8-7, Mills and Vendy. A chance for them to get themselves right back in this. It's game point. And they do. Is there some late drama to come here at the Oak Grove Leisure Centre? 9-7 Mills and Vendy take it, but they still trail 1-2.
Yeah, don't underestimate the impact that Anders Christensen had on the two MK guys there. You know, since he came on court, they were almost like a different pair. They were really positive, really aggressive. And just watching him move from one end of the court to the other, he's like absolutely marched up there. He's just called the guys' attention just to refocus them again on the points he was making during the timeout. So, and he's still at it. He's still trying to give them advice and trying to G them up and get them firing so that they go straight into this next set.
He looks like he fancies playing again, Christiansen. He's very pumped up on the bench there in the MK Badminton corner. 1-2 they trail. They'll serve in the fourth game. Just the start they were looking for. Just continue that momentum from the third game.
1-0.
Vendy had to try and hang in the air for quite a while to reach that one. Little tap of the racket on the head from Adam Hall. Bit bewildered by that one from himself. San Colina finds the net. 3-1 Mills and Vendy. The noise level just raising a little bit here.
Just the timing between the points has just shortened a little bit. The MK pair are trying to hustle things on a little bit, trying to keep that momentum as well.
Just wide cross court from MK Badminton's Vendy. Mills, what a trick shot there we saw with just the pick up between his legs.
Out. Service over.
Mills lets the serve drop short to re-establish the 2-point cushion. Hall had 3 goes at finishing it off. Colina said, go on, then I'll step in.
3-4.
The lifts gradually got shorter and shorter, so Sean's odds of getting them, the last one back we're getting less and less all the time.
Drops long, we're level at 4-4. Hall and Colina just won't go away. Another bit of vocals from Colina. Dropped short. I was just going to say, you feel that in the next point or two, the Nottingham pair will be looking towards the AJ Bell power play. Hall, no chance of reaching that, despite Colina urging him to. 6-5 MK Badminton.
It's good use of variation of pace from Pete Mills there. It's very easy, and men's doubles like this just to get dragged into hitting everything hard. So to have the presence of mind to pull a little bit of pace off it and hit the space is really good.
Yeah, good racket speed from Vendy to keep that going back at Quilina. 7-5 to the home pairing. Timeout called by University of Nottingham Badminton's Martin Lewis.
University of Nottingham.
Because he definitely doesn't want to see this go to a 5th and final game.
Absolutely. And interestingly, again, Anders Christensen just marched on court again, and he was relishing the opportunity to speak to his Milton Keynes guys again as well. So, you know, it's going to be important for them to try and, or for Anders to try and keep that level of momentum in the MK pair, because clearly Martin's come on just to try and disrupt it and try and refocus Nottingham back on the rest of the set.
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
We'd love to end the night on a sudden death tiebreaker, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think this was the closest of all the games to call. You know, so by rights it should go to a 5th.
Peter Mills and Sean Vendy 2 points away from making that happen at 7-5. Adam Hall puts it straight down.
Great shot from Quilina though. Again, it was easiest to play it up the line, but had the presence of mind, saw the space, cross court, pulled the shuttle into it.
Yep, 7-7. No surprises that Quilina points to the AJ Bell power play podium, picks up that pink tipped shuttle. It makes it match point University of Nottingham Badminton, just as we were talking about the potential of going to a 5th and deciding game here. All of a sudden it's match point to Nottingham. And Quilina, what a time to produce a service fault on the AJ Bell power play. Now it becomes game point Mills and Vendy, and we're on the verge of the tiebreaker again. How quickly things can change in this format.
7.
Quilina picks out the far left corner, makes amends for his earlier service error at 8-8 now. It is game point Mills and Vendy, match point Quilina and Hall. Great atmosphere here at the Oak Grove Leisure Centre. Big point this one. And it was a brilliant point as well, and we are going all the way here. It's 2-2 with a 9-8 victory in the 4th game. Bring on the tiebreaker.
Great stuff. That's exactly what this game deserved. You know, it's been so even all the way through. What a fantastic rally to win that fourth set and send us to a tiebreak. And considering that the tie's dead and buried, you know, Nottingham have already won. It just shows that this format maintains that level of excitement and anticipation all the way through to the end. So, what great stuff. Bring on the tiebreak.
Exactly. Remember, 1 point available in the league table to whoever wins this event. Every single event on a match night is worth a point, so that's why they're playing this so ferociously. A reminder of the format here in the tiebreaker. First to have a 3-point advantage, or the first to reach 5 points, whichever of those comes first.
Play.
First blood, University of Nottingham Badminton. Found a hole in Sean Vendy's racket there.
Yeah, Adam Hall getting that big boomer going back from the rear court again, like he did in the first set.
2-love Quilina and Hall. It's match point.
Love.
Just about caught the line. What a big shot that is from Peter Mills.
Do you know what? Two of the best shots you ever like to see. An amazing defensive drive from Quilina, but an even better drive from Mills down the line. Phenomenal at this stage of the game.
Brilliant entertainment. Quilina took his time readying himself to receive that serve, put it straight back at Sean Vendy. Match point again, Quilina and Hall. Mills on his knees trying to recover it, but can't. 4-1, Quilina and Hall take the tiebreaker, and having had to fight back from 2-love down, it was an admirable effort from the MK Badminton pair, but they just lose it in the tiebreaker. A great way to finish it.
Absolutely. Great game of men's doubles, really good advert for the sport and for the particular event of men's doubles. The games do tend to be like that. It's very fast, furious, aggressive, and we had everything, all of those things in that match then.
We did indeed. University of Nottingham Badminton record their first ever away win in the AJ Bell NBL. 4-1 they take it. MK Badminton still without a win in this competition. Great entertainment, as we've come to expect from the AJ Bell NBL, Neil. You called it was going to be a 3-2 or a 4-1. Are you surprised that University of Nottingham Badminton have taken this long to get that away win?
I am really, considering the quality in their team. Just circumstances conspire against them a little bit in some of the previous games, but the players that have needed to have produced today have all produced, and they've sort of run out of worthy 4-1 winners.
Just a reminder, there is plenty of opportunity to watch more top-class badminton action next month. The English National Badminton Championships coming to the University of Derby Sports Centre, that great new arena, the home of Team Derby in the NBL. 5th to the 7th of February for that one. Tickets from £6 for children, £12 for adults. Tickets online at Derby Live or the Badminton England website. Next time you can see AJ Bell NBL action is just a day after the Nationals, so we'll have a few tired faces. Monday, the 8th of February 2016 is the next match night 5 of the AJ Bell NBL. But from myself, Rob Hayes, and Neil Cottrell here at the Oak Grove Leisure Centre in Milton Keynes, a very good night to you.